I know I'm just in a suit. I can see it. I have the camera. I see myself. I know I'm just in a suit. Love you guys though. Alright, today we're talking about the end or the last chapter of the Bloodline, okay? I'll remind you of what happened. There was starting to be a bit of tensions in the Bloodline ever since WrestleMania, ever since the Usos lost the Tag Team Championships to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. There then started to be some rumors that, it would possibly be the end of the Bloodline. The Usos would get tired of being bossed around by Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa just standing there doing nothing. Gosh, I love Solo Sikoa. He's funny. But, there started to be some rumors of this possibly happening in the end of the Bloodline and the big betrayal and all in all. So fast forward to Night of Champions. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are challenging Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. During the match, the referee gets knocked over, so he's out, because referees are out for like 10 years when they get knocked out in WWE. So then the Usos arrive to help Reigns and Sikoa, try to get them the upper end, and so that they can eventually win the Tag Team Championships. Then, in a misunderstanding, the Usos both superkick Solo Sikoa. Reigns is angry. He's not happy. He's big Roman Reigns mad, He gets in the ring and he's mad against them. He goes to Jay and he pushes him. He's like, don't get in my way. It's my business, blah, blah, blah. Turns around. Super kick right in the face by Jimmy Uso. This is where the tension started. Jay didn't want to say anything, didn't want to do anything. He just left the ring. He left with Jimmy. They went out, and then there was this big question. What does the future hold for Jey Uso? Well, this past Friday on SmackDown, we got that answer, okay? Jey Uso had to decide. He had to face the Tribal Chief and tell him, is he with him? Is he with the Tribal Chief? Or is he with his brother? And is he betraying the Bloodline, So everybody's there. Jey Uso gets in the ring. The Bloodline was already there. Well, the Bloodline, Reigns, Sikoa, and Heyman, Jay gets in the ring. He tries to talk, but he's not sure what he wants to do. Then Jimmy comes out, and, gives his speech. Because Reigns gave his speech, Jimmy gave his speech, blah, blah, blah. And, everybody was like, who are you going to choose? Then Jay turns over to Jimmy and he's mad, okay? Because apparently Jimmy never wanted Jay to be the right-hand man. So there was a bit of confusion. Jay was mad. He was like, is it true? And then Jimmy's like, yeah, it's true. So Jay's pissed. He's pissed at his brother because he didn't want him to succeed and he was jealous or blah, blah, blah. So then Jay turns over to Jimmy and he tells him, well, brother, you're out. Okay, he tells him that Jimmy is out of the Bloodline. So we're like, okay, Jey Uso is siding with Roman Reigns. Okay, he's staying the right-hand man. He wants the power and it's a great thing. Then Jay talks again and he says, and so am I. Turns around, super kick to Roman Reigns. Poor Roman Reigns just eating super kicks all day long. And then everybody goes wild and they're like, okay, that's it. Because Jimmy is something. But Jay, the guy who has been by Roman Reigns' side ever since the beginning, this is something. This is huge. So Jay made his decision. He's siding with his brother Jimmy. They both super kicked Roman Reigns again. They both super kicked Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman was crying. He was out of it. And the Usos end the night as the biggest thing in WWE because they're facing Roman Reigns. They're turning against Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns is now by himself with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. But he has no more Usos. He has no more the best tag team of all time or one of the best tag teams of all time by his side. So this brings up more questions for the future. Does the future hold for Roman Reigns, for Paul Heyman, for Solo Sikoa, for the Usos, for everything, okay? Well, we can pretty much expect that there will be a match down the line between, the Usos and Reigns and Sikoa, or a Jimmy versus Reigns, or a Jay versus Reigns, or Jimmy versus Sikoa, or Jay versus Sikoa. You know the drill, okay? So either at Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam, it's going to be one of the two probably. We're going to see some of these matches, okay? It's probably going to be the tag team match, and it's going to lead on, to finally having Jay versus Reigns, which is a big match because, they had their rivalry back in 2020. They faced for the Universal Championship when Reigns had just won it. And now, like 3 years later, they might face again, and it would be crazy. The crowd would absolutely love it, and so would I. Now, one more question we need to ask ourselves is, what about Solo Sikoa? Because even though Solo is protecting Roman, he's staying by his side, doing his thing, does he actually want to stay with Reigns? And will he actually stay with Reigns, throughout the way? Because, let me remind you, Solo Sikoa is both of the Usos' brother. He's the Usos' younger brother. So yes, he's loyal to his Tribal Chief, but it's still his actual family, his closest family being the Usos. So eventually, will he get tired of Roman Reigns' will he get tired of it? Will he want better for himself, Because if he goes with the Usos can challenge for tag team titles, and he could challenge for a world title. Maybe eventually he'll realize that he's strong, that Roman Reigns is scared of him, because we got some hints at that. So maybe he'll realize that Reigns is actually scared of him, and he'll be like, okay, it's my opportunity. Decides to turn on Roman Reigns, join the Usos, and then we can have Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns, a big match, and it would push Solo Sikoa way higher, and it would be a great opportunity. And then eventually, if that happens, if, Solo Sikoa betrays Roman Reigns and decides to join the Usos, that means that Roman Reigns will be alone with Paul Heyman. Because it was this at the beginning, When Roman Reigns came back as a heel in 2020, he was by himself with Paul Heyman, But it will be the beginning of the end for Roman Reigns. Because let me remind you, the majority of Roman Reigns' recent title defenses, the reason that he successfully defended, his championship in the past few matches, it's because of either the Usos or Solo Sikoa. Or sometimes Paul Heyman, but it's way more the Usos and Sikoa, WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes, it's because of Solo Sikoa. Crown Jewel against Logan Paul, it was pretty much because of the Usos and Solo Sikoa, And you go back, okay, there are way more, but you go back and you can realize just how many of Roman Reigns' title defenses were, successful thanks to the Usos, thanks to Solo Sikoa. And maybe Sikoa will realize that because the Usos already realized that. Solo may realize that, decide to turn on him, and then Roman Reigns will be by himself. So his next defense, let's say at WrestleMania next year he defends against Cody Rhodes. Okay, yes, he beat Cody Rhodes. But now the year before he beat Cody Rhodes, but this time he doesn't have Solo Sikoa to sneak in the ring and hit the Samoan Spike. It's Reigns by himself for the first time in a long time. And that is big. Okay, and I'm not counting Paul Heyman because he's not going to get in the ring and start fighting Cody Rhodes. And even if he does, he's not going to do much. I love Paul Heyman. He's the best manager of all time, okay? No doubt. Argue with a wall. But it's not Paul that is going to arrive out of nowhere and hit an RKO on Cody Rhodes. That's just not going to happen. But it is highly probable that Roman Reigns will be by himself at WrestleMania next year to defend his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. That means he has no one to help him. He's by himself against Cody Rhodes, and this could finally be the time for Cody Rhodes. Okay, look at right there. I have him. He's really cute. It could be the first time for Cody Rhodes. It could be his opportunity to capitalize and finally defeat the Tribal Chief and this immense reign that is looked at as one of the greatest of all times. And, take Roman Reigns out because you're going to realize that the bloodline without the blood is nothing. That was a good line. I should have ended the video on this. But yeah, we're looking at the future of the bloodline, seeing if this is going to happen. It's already been a pretty bumpy ride with all the turnarounds, with so many super kicks to Roman Reigns' face. Man just needs to stop being betrayed, okay? Poor him. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think, okay? Do you think Solo Sikoa should join the Usos? When do you think should we see the Usos versus Reigns and Sikoa? Is Roman Reigns going to be by himself at WrestleMania next year? Is he going to lose the championship because of it? I want your thoughts in the comments, okay? I'll try to respond to everybody, or I'll like your comment. I'll try to do as much as I can. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.